Hey everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. This is a special collaboration video that I have made alongside two amazing YouTubers, Bend and Stretch with Sue and Move with Jen. This is what my first yoga class was like.
When I showed up for my first yoga class, I really had no idea what to expect. Yoga at that time really wasn't considered mainstream. I had dabbled a little bit using my book, watching on television, but walking into a classroom full of people who knew what they were doing was rather intimidating.
My first class was way harder than I expected. I'm pretty sure I was only able to do 1/3 of the class.
My very first yoga class was not at all what I had expected. I honestly did not think that I would enjoy yoga. However, I just decided to go for it, see what happens. And I have to tell you, I'm so happy that I did, because I did learn very valuable lessons from that very first class about yoga and also about myself. In this video, you will learn more about my story. I started practicing yoga a little over 4 years ago, and I got into yoga because I was experiencing tension in my neck and my upper back body. So I turned to yoga to help me find a more natural solution to that. In case you missed that video, feel free to check it out. I have linked it in the right-hand corner. Being brand new to yoga, I was terrified to venture into a public space as I did not really know what to expect, and I also did not know whether or not I would enjoy yoga. I can recall worrying about being judged for my lack of experience, not knowing the names of certain postures, not being able to keep up with the pace of the class, and even falling out of postures. On top of that, I wasn't very flexible, so I felt extremely intimidated going into a public yoga class. Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below this video whether or not these thoughts and feelings resonate with you. So I made the decision to start practicing yoga at home because I felt safe, I felt at ease and comfortable practicing in my own space. Plus I am an introvert, so it was kind of natural just to be flowing in my own space. I remember being unsure about where to start, so I went to Google and typed in yoga for beginners, and the very first video that I see is Yoga with Adrienne's Yoga for Beginners class. I saw that it was 20 minutes, so not too bad in terms of length. I decided to go for it, and I am so happy that I did. Adrienne has a very warm and welcoming presence, so I immediately fell in love with her personality. I also appreciated the pace of the class. It was nice and slow. She communicated some key action points to consider in each posture, as well as options to explore. So I felt that it was very accessible for me, especially as a beginner to yoga. This was the very first time in which I played around with connecting my breath to the action, and by bringing awareness to my breath, I found that my body and mind entered a more relaxed state. Plus, I had a lot of fun during this practice. The 20 minutes flew by, and I felt amazing following the practice. I learned some valuable lessons following my very first yoga practice. I learned to find what feels good for you. I also learned what works for one may not work for all. My experiences on the mat will be different from yours, and also how I look in each posture will be unique to me because of my anatomy. I let go of what I thought I should look like in each yoga posture, and instead I focused on how I felt in each pose. Because I had such a positive experience practicing yoga at home, I decided to continue on with the practice. I am so happy that I did, just simply because I discovered so many new things about myself in terms of my habits, my patterns, my tendencies. For example, having this desire to go from point A to point B as quickly as possible, overlooking the process, overlooking the journey. So yoga really invited me to rethink that and to perhaps slow down the pace and really focus in on the overall journey. To summarize, I went into my very first yoga class thinking, this is not going to be for me. This is only for flexible people, and I'm not flexible enough. I won't be able to keep up with the pace, and I won't be able to do certain postures. However, by the end of that class, I fell in love with yoga. I really enjoyed moving on the mat, and hence why I'm a certified yoga instructor. And I also learned so much about myself. My question to you is, what was your first yoga class like? And if you've never been to a class, feel free to tell me about what you think it may be like. If you thought my story was good, check out these YouTuber stories, Bend and Stretch with Sue and Move with Jen. Stay tuned for our next topic on how yoga changed our lives. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. Thank you so very much. Take good care. Namaste.